Welcome to breakout room number 2 with 5 amazing startups from Indonesia. Again, I'm going to take a couple minutes while people are still joining. I really miss seeing the founders at the Consulate, but also the great food and music and dances that usually is being hosted. I have to say that Indonesian Consulate in general is one of my favorite consulates. As you probably know, we actually have more than 40 different consulates from all over the country. I think we're probably second to New York, maybe around, or LA. So it's a very, very international community. I'm really, really glad to see not only founders from Indonesia, but also amazing friends in Houston and all over the United States. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us here. Really, really good to see you. And I'm recognizing great friends from the Consulate and from the Chamber. Indan, thank you for joining us in this breakout session. I don't know if anybody's still in the main room trying to join us, but again, I am the marketing professor at the University of St. Thomas, and I'm also the founder and president of MileaLab. Especially the venture studio side has been very closely engaged in the global innovation ecosystem. So, our tagline is actually global innovation partners. We've been working with international innovators for the past 4 or 5 years. So it's my great honor to be moderating this breakout session. I don't know if we are still waiting for more friends to be joining us, but a little bit more about Houston's innovation ecosystem, as you probably have heard from the Consul General himself and also Bimu, as well as our wonderful friend Danae from ION. It is really a booming space. I know that South by Southwest is being hosted in Austin, the capital of Texas, but Houston has been a major player, especially with the global focus. As I mentioned, like it's a very, very international, dynamic, and vibrant community. So I think I hope everybody feel welcomed here, although you're virtually joining us. So without further ado, since it seems like people are getting to the breakout room, I'd like to introduce the startups that will be presenting today. So we have 5 startups. Each will be keeping the presentation within 5 minutes so that we can have another 5 minutes for Q&A, because I think the discussion part will bring a lot of value. Sorry. Okay. So, the order of the presentation will be starting from Izy.ai, followed by Botika, Privy, and Octagon, ending with MileaLab. So I'd like to introduce the presenter from Izy.ai. If you could start your video or sharing your screen. By the way, I'd also like to mention that I am the program advisor at Women in AI, since the first one seems to be an AI startup. So it is a global nonprofit organization advocating diversity, equity, and inclusion for AI. And we just launched a 6-month business startup development program called Y Accelerate. So it started in Europe and now in the United States. And to my knowledge, APEC chapter is also going to launch. So if anyone is joining us in Asia, you could keep an eye on Women in AI as well. So Izy.ai is the founder here. Gary,
yes. Hello, Sunny.
Excellent.
Yes, I'm here.
Yep, go ahead. The stage is yours. 5 minutes presentation, then we'll start a Q&A. Thank you, Gary.
Okay, great. Let me just share my screen now.
Excellent.
Is it? Okay, great. Then let me start. So happy to be here. So I'm Gary from Izy.ai. We provide a fully flexible mobile concierge on-demand platform that enables hotels to digitize services and boost revenues from guest consumptions. So what we see right now is, as we all might have known, due to COVID, the hotel industry globally is currently facing the biggest challenge ever. In the US alone, there's an estimate of around 59% of hotels that are facing high risk of foreclosures due to COVID. And this has really forced hotels to focus on the future, which is the new normal. And hotels now realize that they cannot really rely only on room sales alone, but they would need to also boost and add ancillary revenues from guest consumptions. And this also align with the endorsements of the from the World Tourism Organization to push for digital transformations and implement contactless experience, especially within the hotel industry, because interestingly, as we all might have known, the travel industry has long shifted into mobile, but the hotel industry remains the same as ever. And this is where we come in. We help hotels to digitize all of their services through our on-demand and commerce platform, enabling them to build their very own platform commerce to boost ancillary revenues from either upselling their in-house service or connecting with third-party vendors, partners, surroundings, other startups, so that they can offer more variety of products and services to guests. We're available in mobile, and we also be launching our web version to boost conversions by this year. And from the moment guest checks into the hotel, we help them to curate digital interactions for guests and help them to empower their staffs to engage and connect better with the guests. So starting from even ordering room service, requesting for amenities, all of the room compendiums, chatting with concierge, reserving facilities for a spa, etc. Everything is enabled through our platform and providing a fully contactless experience for hotel guests. And this is how we help our hotel partners. We help them in boosting their ancillary revenues by up to 21% while also maximizing internal productivity. And we help reduce all of the bottlenecks. And so each departments in the hotels can focus and engage directly with each guest is creating a more efficient and productive workforce. And all of the data are now can be easily measured within hotels. And this is our valued clients in Indonesia, Vietnam, and Korea. We have acquired more than 115 of properties since we first launched by end of 2018, processing more than $500,000 of guest transactions. Even during COVID, since COVID, we have expanded to all over Indonesia and to Vietnam and to Korea, where we have just signed a commercial deal with one local hotel PMS. And to us, this shows a very strong global demand now. And we see a very interesting market in the United States, because in US alone there are more than 5 million rooms, which is almost the same with the total of Southeast Asia, Korea, and Australian market. And an interesting part is that hotels globally are being operated in similar ways. Hotels in Jakarta and in Houston and in Seoul are mostly operating using similar system and SOPs. And we are the only one in the market providing a fully flexible product, and it enables us to cater to all types of hotels from luxury to budget hotels. And it also enables us to partner with various partners, and we offer a combination of flat monthly subscription fee and revenue share percentage. We'd like to call it contactless but not interactionless platform. And our vision is to create an ecosystem where hotels can be connected not only with their surroundings but also with other startups, with other vendors, merchants, and so that hotels can create this commerce ecosystem and offer more variety of services and create an enhanced guest stay experience. And this is how we see the future. We saw a combination of the monthly subscription and revenue share part as the model that will also enable us to achieve a scalable growth as a startup. And this is us. We're a combination of more than 38 years of work experience in products, startup entrepreneurship, and hoteliers, and provide us with a holistic look and experience in tackling the challenge. We have also been selected in various reputable programs like this one here, but not only in Indonesia, but also in Singapore and in Korea. And we're here looking for partners for hotels and accommodations with whom we can talk to and try to share more and especially with partners who can help us in entering the market, learning about the market, and exploring and potentially engaging and expanding here. And most importantly, also, we're looking for investors because we're right now currently raising for seed money in order to accelerate our product development and market solidification, because we strongly believe that now is the best and most perfect time to disrupt the hotel industry and prepare them to enter the new normal. So thank you. That's a bit about us, Izy. Would love to engage in more deeper discussions with all of you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gary, for such a wonderful presentation.
Thank
I'm
you.
really excited to see that. I'm a big believer of born global entrepreneurship. I guess, since we're all here as international entrepreneurs, I'm really excited to see that you guys already went beyond the borders and worked with hotels in other countries. And Houston is definitely a great destination. But let's see if anybody from the audience has a question. Please feel free to use the reaction button, raise hand, so that I could see hands. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
This
please.
Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. Please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there was no raised hands, but only hands clapping. So,
Hi, Thomas.
hey, selamat petang, Gary. Terima kasih for
Hi.
the
Selamat
presentation.
pagi.
Thank you. Could you tell us a bit more about your competitive landscape, and do you happen to have any IP associated with your technology, and how do you prevent other companies from following suit from what you have developed already?
Okay, yeah, so that's a very interesting questions. And in Indonesia, we have an IP, but not yet on the code part. Our main differences is that we're the only one providing flexibility in terms of product and in terms of integrations with third parties. For example, in Indonesia, we integrate with other, not only with hotel PMS, but also with a couple of startups and partners so that we can bring more services into hotels. And so we learn a lot. We took references from a lot of prior startups, especially from the US market, which is the more mature and advanced market. And we saw that this flexibility is one thing that it will be key for us in order to expand globally, because the prior rule of the game was actually to offer these services only to luxury properties and hotels, solely because these are the types of categories that before was being perceived as the only ones who can afford such solutions. But for us, we want to create this flexibility in terms of product that can be integrated flexibly with others, so that we can not only target these, but we can target different segments, different types of hotels, as what we are currently doing in Indonesia, just by differentiating the value propositions. So far, that's what we are currently doing. We have some plans and we have some stuff that we are planning to put to have IP on in terms of the technology, but it might come sooner after there's one.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Great question. I really
Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, I also have a follow-up question. Since you mentioned, Gary, your differentiation is really your target market, right? Essentially you're trying to target, instead of the luxury hotels, but also make it affordable and accessible for lower end. Does that mean you have a star rating kind of range when you go global? In fact, I just talked to a hotel owner yesterday. Turns out, although they are like at the 3 to 2 level, fortunately, they didn't hit as hard as the higher ranked hotels, because their main customers are local, and they have to stay, like, essentially, instead of the traveling business executives, they have local customers. So in a way, I felt like I really appreciate the fact that you're trying to serve the more economic hotels so that they can have access to technology and help them with the COVID contact.
Yes. So to answer that, that's a very interesting insight because that is also one that we experienced lately, especially in
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia and Singapore.
Yep.
Because before COVID, we only focus on the luxurious part, of course. But then, since COVID, now we got more responses from middle tier to lower tier hotels, because not only do they want to provide these contactless and safer interaction with guests, but they would also want they need to actually operate in a much more efficient ways. So every so that's why we help them to provide as well. We are currently working and integrating with a couple of other IoT providers like an automatic door lock and mobile access that
Mm-hmm.
can enable our app to be used also as a room access. So that can make a more seamless check-in process. And this would be one key feature that actually works much better for the economy hotels, because they need to really boost and maximize the efficiencies of their internal productivity. So that's the interesting part that we've seen from the hotel industry, because this is the mindset that we have not seen before COVID, but now everything just changes. And a lot of our hotel clients see like our service more like allowing them to have the luxury of Marriott so-called hotels, so that they can now offer a Bonvoy-like platform and offer these seemingly luxury concierge app with very good value for money pricing, of course.
Yes, thank you so much, Gary. Really great insight. I see questions in the chat window. By the way, honey, I hope this actually helps answering your first question. I know you have another question. We do have to move to the next presentation, but I encourage everybody. I encourage everyone in this breakout room to put your comments and question and thoughts in the chat window. And please, everyone, feel free to send your LinkedIn and your contact information so that we can stay in touch after this presentation. So thank you again, Gary, for presenting Izy.ai. Our next presenter is from Botika. And let's see, who's the presenter from? Okay, I got it. Ditto,
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Fantastic. So go ahead, share screen. We will be starting the next presentation from Botika. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the time and greeting from Indonesia. Okay, greetings. We are Botika from Indonesia, and we are here to help you to automate your customer service using artificial intelligence. There are a lot of people globally use social media not only to communicate with their friends, but also for doing business online. For business side, handling this kind of communication is very hard, time-consuming, and expensive. This happens to all kind of company, no matter how big or small they are. This is also happens in non-profit organizations, and the problem is still the same. My name is Dito Anandita. We are from Botika. Botika is a conversational AI company that enable businesses to serve their customer at scale in easy, fast, and competitive way. Our AI-powered chatbot can answer frequently asked questions automatically across social media using WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, messengers, websites, using a chat conversation. Once the conversation becoming more complex, the chatbot can escalate the case to human agents using OmniBotika. Here, the human agent can see in the customer journey and history, communication history across various channels in one single dashboard. For voice-based communication, we have Voice Botika. This can be connected to call centers, mobile application, and smart speakers. We start our journey in 2017. We are focusing in machine learning and NLP in local languages. Not only we are capable in providing English as the main language, but also in local language such as Bahasa Indonesia, Chinese, Korean, and many others. We are in the $1 billion customer service market, and we only have very few competitors. What makes us different from others is that we build our AI for customer service to provide end-to-end solution for them. And we develop our own technology in-house so that we can be very flexible from the chatbot until the voice technology. And it is very easy for us to adjust so that we can always localize the language. Our business model is two. Number one is custom development for enterprises. This is usually for custom-made chatbot. And the second one is the monthly subscription for ongoing use of our service. We already have reputable companies as our portfolio clients from many categories, from banking, insurance, customer goods, shipping, healthcare, and many others. And those clients are already a success in reducing up to 30% of customer service costs. That is a very good achievement for them. And we have also partnered with local partners so that we can ensure we deliver our service as broad as possible. This is our success story. We have many chatbots from various categories. One of our interesting case is New Zealand. This is a global shipping company. They deploy the chatbot in 14 countries using different local languages and connected to different types of communication channels, such as WhatsApp, WeChat, KakaoTalk, and many others. We start with 5 co-founders, and now we have 50 people in our teams in 2 cities, in Yogyakarta and Jakarta. We also very active in our country. We have covered in mainstream medias. We also active in startup community. We have collaboration with many countries also. And we have various events, offline events, to ensure that our product can be communicated to our customer in an easy way. Currently, we are raising pre-Series A investment, $3 million for 10% of equity. We believe that AI is the future, and we invite you to join to the future with us. I will be glad to have a discussion for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ditto. Such an amazing presentation. Another exciting AI startup. Any question from the audience? Trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Again, I encourage everybody to type your questions during the presentation. And of course, you can also raise your hand or just simply unmute if you have questions for Botika.
Yeah, Henny here. A quick question from me. Just talk a little bit about the valuation and what you're going to do with that money, because this is a relatively high valuation for a pre-Series A. And can you also talk to, do you have like NLP capabilities incorporated in your chatbot, or yeah, and if there are, then what are those that you've incorporated? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The valuation is yes, it is quite high because we are in the machine learning category. We have a lot of resource that we have to usually the resource will be spent in the research because this is an ongoing field, especially because we target for voice technology. This is quite a difficult technology to master, and we do have NLP in our technology. We target in local languages. Why we target in local language? Because if we target English as the main language, the competitor is very crowded, and English as the main language is already very common in international market. So we plan to develop local languages so that we can serve countries that doesn't have English as their main language. For example, in Asia, in Indonesia, there are only very few people that speak in English. It is also happen in any others nearby countries such as China, Thailand, or Philippines. And the NLP part, we have developed several categories. Number one is, of course, intent classification. This is the part that we try to figure out what kind of question that the customer want to ask. And then we have name entity recognition. This is very useful to get information about what kind of things that that is consist in the sentence. And topic detection, text summarization, and text generation. This is for more dynamic content that is generated by the chatbot, and many others.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. It's Amy Henry with Unique Ventures. So, because we're familiar with this, and the chatbot space is getting more competitive. When you look at customer acquisition, especially with NLP, you know, how long does that process take you? And then kind of what is the breadth of that, you know, kind of question or repository are you starting off with, right? Because it does take some time to change, you know, kind of train that particular chatbot, right? And it will vary per customer. But what does that kind of reference time period look like?
Yes, the chatbot that we built is company specific, and usually this is specific to certain. Usually, when we create a chatbot, we have to discuss with the client what kind of topic that will be covered with the chatbot. Usually, this is not as broad as the common personal assistant such as Amazon Alexa. So the category is quite narrow. So this makes us possible to adjust to many languages, because we only target for topics and related topic that has to be served by the chatbot. So the English part is easy because we have already have libraries that is available online. And for local languages such as Indonesia and any other local languages, we have to develop our own data, and we have to compile our own data set. So yes, this will take some time. But if we approach it with small categories, this is very possible to do.
All right, thank you so much. Great question, Hani and Amy, and thank you, Ditto, for addressing these questions. Given our time limit, now let's move to the next startup. So with great pleasure, let's welcome our next startup from Privy.id. So the presenter will be Marshall, right?
Yep, right.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marshall. Go ahead, please.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I'm Marshall Pribadi, the CEO of Privy.id. We are the leading digital identity and digital signature provider in Indonesia. So it's like when you would like to open up bank accounts, like these are the major banks in Indonesia, or we would like to apply credit cards online without the need to go to the bank branches, without the need to have to sign hard copy papers or have face-to-face meeting with the bank officers. We are making that possible just by login with your Privy.id. Then you could do all of those stuff, including like opening up insurance policy and stuff purely online, no face-to-face meetings, and no hard copy papers. Oh, I think my slide is stuck. Okay, right. Yeah. So we are delivering higher level of trust with the higher level of efficiency, and of course the convenience of digital user onboarding. So, right. So what we do is that first we provide a verified ID, because we got the written agreement with the Ministry of Homeland Affairs. So we got host-to-host API connection to the citizen database of Indonesia. So every time our customers would like to sign up to get their Privy.id, then they need to upload their national ID card and then take a selfie with liveness detection. And then we'll compare their photo biometrics to the government database. For your information, Indonesian has what is called electronic national ID card program. So every adult above 17 years old are mandatory to be enrolled to the program. So they need to go to the sub-district government office to take their biometrics, including their photo. So we are checking the selfie photo when the user registering from our apps or webs to the government database. And once they get their Privy.id, then it will be really flexible for them. Every time they would like to open up bank accounts, applying credit cards and stuff, they don't need to repetitively type in their name, address, date of birth, office address, office phone numbers and stuff, because we already verified all of their personal data. So here are the data that needs to be inputted when you register for Privy.id for the very first time. So the next time you would like to register to any services, you don't need to repetitively type in all of this data anymore. And for the businesses, they don't need to spend the same cost. Like when you're already KYC, like a bank already conducted customer due diligence on you, then when you would like to open up accounts with another banks or apply loans to another banks, another financial institution, then you don't need to, they don't need to spend the same time and cost to perform KYC or customer due diligence process to the same person. So it's like the process. When you register, you take a selfie with liveness detection. We compare it to the database of the Ministry of Homeland Affairs. So using a Privy.id, and you could do like, as I mentioned, we don't only provide the verified ID, but we are also a fully licensed certificate authority in Indonesia. So we issue digital certificates, so in all of our users could sign documents digitally and legally. We could, using their Privy.id, people could just sign like loan agreements with the fintech app, employment agreements and stuff. As per today, we already have 13 million users, and it's still growing by 10% each month. For your information, Indonesian population is about 270 million. Yeah, so we are still far away. And here are some of our biggest clients. So we are a clear market leader in the insurance sector. So as you could see, most of the major global insurance providers operating in Indonesia are using our digital signature and digital identity. Most of the biggest telco providers are also using our service. Same with the major banks here and major non-bank financial institutions such as fintech, leasing company, and e-commerce that provides pay later like loan for their purchases. Here are the testimonials from some of our happy clients. And in 2020 alone, there were more than 22 million documents signed on our platform. And our verified users grew to 12.2 million by the end of the year. Right now, it's about 13 million as of today. There's some of the awards that we gathered. And we are the only Indonesian company who is a member of the FIDO Alliance. As I mentioned, we are trusted by the Root Certificate Authority of the Republic of Indonesia, administered by the Ministry of ICT. We get the cooperation agreement with the Ministry of Homeland Affairs to verify the identity. And we also passed the regulatory sandbox of Indonesian Central Bank. That's why up until today, we are the only digital signature provider in Indonesia that could provide online credit card application without face-to-face meetings. We are also listed on the Indonesian Financial Service Authority as an eKYC provider, and we also pass ISO 27001 on information security management. I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marshall. Congratulations, amazing achievements. Really tremendous growth. Any question from our audience? Thomas, you ready? Go ahead.
A quick question. So I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, excellent presentation, Privy. And again, what are your asks and what do you want from this presentation? I didn't see where are you trying to expand your technology to outside Indonesia, or are you trying to raise funds? What exactly are you trying to?
Right. So we are currently raising our Series B of 10 million US dollar. And then secondly, yeah, so actually, as you could see, some of the Fortune 500 companies are using our platform instead of global players like DocuSign or Sign.easy or Adobe Sign, because we offer a much more versatile mobile apps. That's what they say, not just what we say. And of course, we offer cheaper price. And this year, we just finished the integration with Salesforce. And then by next quarter, we are going to finish our integration with Microsoft. And then afterwards on Q3, our target is to finish integration with SAP. So yeah, we would like to expand our market globally, but primarily not through like opening up like branches or hiring employees everywhere. We'll start from by integrating to those big SaaS providers. Yeah. So like, for example, like the head of the Salesforce Asia Pacific, they told me that, hey, their main partner right now for digital signatures is DocuSign. But actually, a lot of their clients are demanding some features that is not available yet, first. And second, their price is really, really high. For your information, we are charging approximately like half price of what DocuSign is charging. Yeah, so, and we could see with our operation here in Indonesia, and our products are fully homegrown here, our profitability is much better than companies based in advanced countries. Yeah, so we could offer better services with more efficient costs. So yes, we would like to expand globally. And
what do you see as some of the risk associated with, let's say, moving your technology into, let's say, for example, Malaysia or Singapore, from a legality, from a cybersecurity point of view? I mean, where do you see some of the risk associated with that?
yeah, legality. So as long as we are expanding to common law countries like Malaysia, United States, India, Australia, Singapore, we have research, we have confirmed to some of the companies there, and a lot of my friends are lawyers in those countries, because my background used to be a lawyer. So we have no problem at all operating in those companies, just as like DocuSign operating in those companies. DocuSign do not have data center there. DocuSign do not have physical presence there. Yeah, right. But when we are talking about like expanding to European Union countries, there are some laws and procedures that we need to follow. We need to get license from some authorities based on the European Council regulation on electronic identity and trust services. But yeah, those countries I mentioned have more lenient law compared to the EU, so we don't have problems expanding to those countries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic presentation, amazing discussions too. I again encourage everyone to put your contact information, especially our founders. Because of the heated discussion, I can feel a lot of interest from our friends in the States. If you guys are looking for investors or partners or potentially customers, please go ahead and share your information. Now, I can't wait to introduce our next presenter from Octagon, because I see a female founder and I'm excited. So Chitra, is it going to be you presenting?
That is me. Thank you very
Fantastic.
much.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll share my screen first. 1 second, sorry about that. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Chitra, Sales and Project Manager at Octagon Studio, and now allow me to introduce you who we are as a company. Octagon Studio was established in 2015 in Bandung, Indonesia. We are an award-winning tech company specializing in providing high-quality augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality products and services. So what exactly do we offer and what are we trying to solve? I'll show you a video that can tell you why.
What comes to your mind when you hear the word education? You must think about school, boring lesson, endless homework, and super thick textbooks. And did you know that our brain can only absorb about 10% of what we hear, 5% of what we see, and 85% of what we actually do? So what is the perfect combination of activities that will spark interest in learning, especially for children? So we have an idea. The key to effective learning is by making it more modern and interactively fun. Introducing a new learning experience for 40+, an interactive learning tool through augmented reality by creating a series of augmented reality flashcards to aid in the learning process. Animal 40+ is designed to engage children by introducing them to the letters of the alphabet as well as their animal representations. Children can also feed this virtual.
I'm sorry to cut the video short due to time limits. So since 2015, our 40+ AR apps have been downloaded over 5 million times with over 1 million product sales globally. We've also been so fortunate to have worked together with big international brands such as BBC, Discovery Channel, WWF, Marks & Spencer, the UK and European Space Agency as our client and business partners. The education technology market size is forecasted to reach about $200 billion by 2025, and we would target 0.02 of that market. With the increasing demand of remote learning tools amidst and post-pandemic period, we believe such target is possible, and the rapid development of AR tech and mobile devices industry supports that possibility as well, allowing more creative AR experiences which are compatible with wider range of devices. We aim to reach that target by continuing to expand our 40+ flashcard series. So currently we have Animal, we have Octaland, we have Space 40+, Dinosaur, and Cars. We are also reproducing Humanoid 40+, which is on human anatomy, and then also our relatively new products that is Ocean 40+, created partially to help raise awareness about the importance of marine ecosystem. Having been validated by educational experts in the US, the UK, and Finland, our 40+ flashcards have been used as supplementary learning tools in some schools in various countries, including the UK and India. Apart from our flashcards, we also have other AR products, such as the Dinoland 40+, a fun AR game that allows you to build your own dinosaur park in AR, and Octaland 40+ Color Me, which is an AR coloring book, which is available also for purchase. We are soon launching a new flashcard series that is the history of aircraft 40+. And also we have AR jigsaw puzzle and poster series. Our products have been distributed in over 40 countries so far, and we are looking forward to expanding our distribution network globally. These are some of the stores who have sold our products. And we have 3 business models so far. First one is selling our physical AR products to resellers and distributors across the world, whether it is by directly importing the products from Indonesia or by licensing the products so they can localize the language and manufacture the products in their countries to eliminate shipping costs as well. The second one is by licensing the multimedia assets to businesses. Given that we have plenty of 3D models, we have animals, space objects, dinosaur, and many more. One example would be that you can create AR t-shirts with assets that Octagon Studio provides. The third one is through business-to-business partnership, in which we offer our services to various businesses, whether it is to create AR campaign, apps, and others. We frequently join global exhibitions such as the BET Show in London, CES in Las Vegas, and the HKTDC in Hong Kong. I'm sorry, I think this is suck. What is a presentation without a technical cock-up, right? I'm so sorry about this.
No worries, Chitra. Just go ahead with the rest of the presentation. Don't worry about the slides.
There you go. I'm sorry about that. So we are currently raising pre-Series A investment of $1 to $5 million US. With our current operational costs, we're expecting to break even in 4 years' time. And let me present you our team. I'm Chitra again. I'm the project and sales manager with a background in fine arts and design. We have here Alim, our general manager with fine arts and game design background. Stella as our director and CMO with background in design and startup business. We have Tommy, our CTO with computer science background. And Awon as a director and HR manager with a background in psychology. Our current team is nearly 30 people strong, consisting of passionate talents with various backgrounds that come together to create magic. These are the awards and nominations that we've received in the past years, and some medias that have covered us and featured us as well. Thank you very much. Looking forward to connect with you all.
Excellent job, Chitra. Technical issues. I really, really love your product.
Sorry about that.
I'm very passionate about the future of learning because, as you know, ever since COVID, there's been a lot of emphasis on the future of work. But you know, we can't talk about the future of work without talking about the future of learning, and of course, across board. And it's exciting to see you guys have been very successful in introducing your product to other countries as well. Again, born global, right? Any question from the audience?
Amy Henry, Unique Ventures.
Amy, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. How long does it take you guys as you're launching, kind of a new product, right? As you're talking about the kind of some of the more of the space products that you're developing. What is the time that it takes? And I noticed you have a pretty good sized team. So with the $1 to $5 million, are you looking to expand your existing team, or what are the plans of using your pre-series A funding on?
Thank you for your question. I guess the first part of the question is how long do we actually usually take to develop an app? With our 40 plus series, it comes as two things. We have the product and we also have the app development. I think the production process of the physical product takes about 2 to 5 months, as well as the app. The app usually takes around 2 to 4 months. If we really don't have anything else that we're developing in-house, usually. It also depends on how many and how much contents that the product will have inside it. So some of the 40 plus flashcards, we have about 20 cards, 20 papers in there. And then the Ocean 40 plus, for example, which is the newly released one, we have more cards. We have like 36, which obviously has more 3D contents, animation and such like that. With the funding itself, we're starting from 1 million is initially what we are calculating if we only focus on the development and the investment of the 40 plus flashcards. But in-house ourselves at the moment, we are working for more projects. I think the bigger number of investment would make more sense to be allocated in the development of the new systems that we're going to have in either our new products or our new services. For example, the remote assistance, the multiplayer game, and also other new products like the AR jigsaw puzzles, which initially is the goal of the product itself is also for learning tools. So there are a few aspects. Within the company itself, the business units, we have 5 of them at the moment. We have the virtual gallery. We have the multiplayer games, as I was mentioning. We also have open world, which is also a game a gaming system, an idle gaming system, the remote assistance, and then Octaland IP. Octaland being one of the series in the 40 plus, we are also building the IP for it. So that's the broader sense of what we are doing in-house. I hope that answers the questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Chitra. All right. So given the time, let's bring our last startup of the day, MileaLab. Am I saying it right? Andrew?
MileaLab.
MileaLab. Thank you so much. MileaLab. So Andrew's going to tell us about the amazing things they're doing at MileaLab. Go ahead, please, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Zhang. So allow me to share my screen first. Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Andes. I'm a managing director of MileaLab. So MileaLab is actually the all-in-one virtual reality platform for K-12 education. And before we doing with this product, our holding company named Sinta VR, we are the first VR startup in Indonesia, and we are established in 2016. And we are started as a B2B services company for bootstrapping and for developing customized VR contents. And until now, we already finished more than 120 projects in 10 countries within 5 years. And our B2B services vary from telco company, oil and gas, market research, architecture, government, and etc. And we are also maybe we can say that we are also one of the multicultural company startups since our founders is from Japan and Indonesia, and also our CTO Indonesia, but he took the master degree in Germany to took the VR master degree. So in terms of the problem we see in education sectors itself, we see that especially in developing countries, or maybe B or C level schools in other countries, and especially in Indonesia, we see that inclusive education still have a problem and also still have a demand. And the demand itself consists of three major demand, which is ineffective teaching for new generation because the technology gap between the teachers and students. And the demand is, of course, they need the tools which increase teaching achievement with the technology. And also, in doing so, facilities and distribution channels, of course, become a problem too, because especially for Indonesia with the many islands on the country, we have a distribution channels problem for the laboratory facility, for machine facility, and etc. So the demand would be like they need to cut distribution process with the cloud internet, of course. And for some of the schools, technologies still become fancy or expensive for some of the schools. So they need the affordable technology for doing their lessons plan. And we see that the virtual reality as one of the best solution, because we know that virtual reality in many paper, in many journal, academic research, it can enhance and increase teaching achievement, and also fill the facility gap, disrupt distribution channel, decreasing the budget for the facilities, and also it can become the cheaper technology if we can combine with the cloud computing, and that's what we can do with MileaLab. So actually, MileaLab is the all-in-one VR platform for education. So it consists for the creator, the MileaLab creator, and also the MileaLab viewer. So the creator itself, all the contents, it's made by the teachers. So without coding and without need to invest in the high-spec PC, because all the process, 99% process will be in the cloud system. And after that, teachers can save their creation and just simply to send the code for classroom, and the students can access from their smartphone. So this is the video that can show to us about how MileaLab works. This is the creator itself. So the teachers just need to drag and drop, like playing The Sims or playing Minecraft, to create any virtual reality lessons and any simulations. So we have thousands of 3D library, and we also have hundreds of templates that can use instantly by the teachers. So they also can add their voices, add music, add video, adding quiz. And after they making all the simulation, they just simply send the code classroom to their students, and the student access from the smartphone. It looks like this. So it's actually the physics lessons for the example of this video. So yeah, with this virtual reality simulation and scenario, all of the scenario lessons can be made by the teacher itself. And until now, we has bring to train around 2,500 teachers in Indonesia in 34 provinces, and had been accessed by 1,500 schools and also used by 16,000 students. And not only that, we also have a valid data for the pedagogical research and pedagogical development for learning by virtual reality. So this is the data that we had from 10 provinces from 1,800 students. So learning with MileaLab, they can increase 80% positive emotion learning used by our VR methods, and 94% increasing in understanding of subject learning used by our VR methods. And also, we also researched about the increase in average class score using virtual reality and conventional methods. So with MileaLab, they are successfully increase the classroom average score up to 53%. And now we also had partnership with many educational institutions, government or non-government, to build strong ecosystem and sales channel. We also have a collaboration with Ministry of Research and Technology, also Ministry of Education, and also Ministry of Industry, and many institutions that really care for education development. And this is our business model. Of course, we are trying to have the affordable price for schools, so any schools in this world can afford this VR technology for a very affordable price. Because we believe that virtual reality in education technology global market is a huge potential, and also has a huge demand too, according for the data that we have from Nielsen, that education have a 81% demand versus 24% supply. So we want to fill this gap with the potential market too. So this is our milestones achieved. In 2019, we are close our seed funding, our first seed funding, and our evaluation since 2016 and 2019. And what we are looking for in this business forum is, of course, we are looking for distributors in a global market, and we also want to develop the community development in other countries, research partner with universities, a research partner with United States Teacher Association, or for example, Association of American Educators or National Education Association. And also right now we are searching for around 1 million funding for pre-series A, which we use for 50%, which we will use for marketing, and product development and R&D for 23%. So our vision is to bring inspiration and imagination with accessible VR platform for education. So thank you very much for the opportunity. You guys can contact me or contact us through this Facebook, Gmail, Instagram, Twitter, or simply from the website. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Andre. It's such another amazing VR company for education. I'm super excited and would love to talk more. Let's check if we have any question from the audience. While we're doing that, I also wanted to mention that, you know, this is really just the starting point of our collaboration. I really encourage everyone to stay in touch. Thomas, you have a question?
A quick question. I'm always talking about competitors. So who are your competitors in terms of penetrating, and what is your price point in competing with either the US market or European market?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Thomas. So actually, we already have the competitor, of course. This is some of the competitor table that we make. So we have a competitor from Singapore and from Sweden, from US, and from many countries. But our value is the first one. MileaLab is the only platform that really have a zero coding. Some of our competitors have the same platform concept, but they still have the block coding for thinking the algorithm things. So we believe that many teachers doesn't have time to think about the algorithm and to make the scenario. So we make a really simple, just to drag and drop and pick the interaction, and they just send it to the students. And also, what we are doing with our marketing strategy, we simply start with the grassroots, with the teacher association. That's also we are doing now in South Africa. We are starting in to train the teachers from the teacher association, and come from there. We are starting with the schools, and we are collaborating with some district and major there. And also, not only that, our system, our license is not only to selling software or hardware, but we also selling the concept of the pedagogical approach. So we are not only selling the software license, but also we are also selling the training and also the concept itself. So it's a complete package actually.
Thank you, Andre. Great question, Thomas. I also like your answer because from what I hear, you're actually covering all, three big parts. One is the content creation, which has been a big roadblock for VR because consumption side, we're good, headset ready to go. But the content creation, I think with the no code, low bar in terms of teacher, enable teacher to create content, that's a big one. And then the curriculum, as you mentioned, that's a big one too. You're not just a platform or a box. You actually have your own pedagogy and curriculum, sounds like, to make it richer. Anyways, I'd love to talk more. I will connect with you on LinkedIn. I'd love to continue our discussion. As I always mention at this kind of event, please, this is not the end. This is the beginning of our collaboration. I would really love to encourage everyone to stay in touch and see how we could really help you guys grow. And I know that the Consulate and the Chamber are doing an amazing job on this. I see Indan is here too, in addition to Consulate staff, and of course, Bimo himself. But with that, I'm looking at Kiki. Are we ready to go back to our main room, Kiki?
Yes. Participants are encouraged to move to the plenary room.
Okay.
So we're all going there.
Do we need to take our room picture? Do we need to do that? I don't know if that's in the protocol.
My colleague has already taken pictures.
Okay, you did.
Or probably the participants wants to have a certain pose for this breakout room
Okay,
too.
yeah, please, everybody, before we get to the main room, I know that's a tradition. The council likes to keep these memories. If you can switch on the camera, because otherwise you're not showing up if your camera is not on.
Okay.
All right.
Camera, but the video plays on.
Yes,
We have
Indan, I see you now.
2 slides. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right.
We're done.
Thank you.
All right. Let's join the big room.
So we're just gonna stay here. You're gonna bring back the button, right?
No,
Or do we
there's
just
actually
click
an
the
option.
leave room, right?
Yes, brief room.
Okay, so everybody, you can click the leave room at the bottom right to join the main session again. Thank you all again for the amazing presentation. Wonderful, wonderful, amazing work you guys are doing. So let's
Everything reminds me of you, but everything is not.